What? Nigerian police was caught on air lying as to why they barricaded the road yesterday during the protest that happened. So guys, you have seen what is happening in this country. They've also given reasons as to why they arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer, Barrister Ejimako. Just take your time and watch this video just for you to see that, see, these people don't want people to protest. It was intentional to have arrested those people. Now take a look.
Your men barricaded the part of...
You're going to say barricade, yes.
Yeah, you barricaded, you stop people from moving freely.
You were going to say
that stopped people from business, citizens who are going about their daily business. From yesterday night, that has been happening. We monitored and we saw.
I said
you barricaded off from Maitama, off from the other side of zone 4, zone 2.
I said something earlier that in order to achieve our mandate of protecting life and property, maintaining law and order, we'll do everything legally needed,
including making the life of citizens of the city miserable.
Now, barricading that road is in furtherance of achieving our mandate, and in such places, traffic was diverted, so there were alternate routes to be used.
Traffic was halted, sir.
Okay,
because that's what happened. So if you look at people who are coming from the other end of the villa side towards Maitama, towards the central, towards the police headquarters, they're not allowed to move in there. You go all the way. It will take a journey of 30 minutes will take you an hour and a half.
Okay.
In the city today. It's fair on the average.
So allow me to land on my thoughts. The moment the tear gas was fired, traffic started moving. The videos are available online. Traffic started moving. So we are confident that we're not protesting and we're going about their lawful duties.
Mr. Ondayi, my question is tear gas the best way to disperse citizens?
In this particular instance, after all words of proclamation, after all admonition fails, when the protesters remain adamant, then the minimal force we can use in this case is tear gas.
What about water canisters? Are you not able to water cannons? And I thought that, I saw a few of them, the very large, big ones, or you are out of water.
You are going to ask the same question, that is water cannon the best way to disperse citizens?
I'm saying water could be fairer than smoking people. Are they animals?
Like we said, this is standard operating procedure. It's not a Nigerian thing.
What about water? I'm saying what about water? Well, you're not able to use water, or you just ate the faces of those who are protesting.
Now,
what exactly?
You make
it's a police force standing for the people or standing against the people.
You make it sound like tear gas is a biological weapon or weapon of mass destruction. No, this is approved.
But it's harmful to the health of the
This is approved, and this is used by police forces around the world. We are not using anything illegal. We are not using anything unlawful. And like I said, this comes after a series of warnings. And mind you, immediately the warning was given that this is going to be done, the people that had health concern and that loved themselves left that place. So this was for the unruly.
So there was a police officer who announced that
this was for this was that standard procedure. We always do that, and this for the unruly and adamant protesters.
Well, give us an understanding of the arrests that were made. Why? You arrested Nnamdi Kanu's brother,
Kanu, yes,
and you arrested his lawyer too.
Barrister Aloy, yes.
Why?
Because they insisted on making way to the restricted areas. And not just 2 of them, 6 others were also arrested around Transcorp for this same reason. So we arrested a total of 8 of them. They are currently at the state CID. And once we conclude our investigation, just like we said in our statement, that anybody who violated that court order would be arrested, diligently investigated, and prosecuted. So once we conclude that, which we should tonight, then they will be prosecuted immediately. In less than 24 hours, they will be facing the court.
So now, people are going to be prosecuted because they are exercising their constitutional rights.
No, you are getting it wrong.
The question is that are they aware? Would any citizen be prosecuted for an offense he or she is not aware of? And that's why we're asking where is the court order? How many you went to court ex parte to get the court order, but you never made it available to Nigerians.
They were arrested not for carrying out their lawful duties, but for contravening a valid court order.
A court order that was not made available to the public.
The court order is there, and in our statement on Saturday, we mentioned the court, we mentioned the judge, we mentioned the court order number, we mentioned everything. We were so plain, we made it clear, and we also warned that anybody that contravened that court order would be arrested. We made it clear.
So Is the police aware of a possible optics of what happened today? Whether or not the police is on the side of the people or on the side against the people? Is police aware and managing these optics?
Well, I don't think it's as bad as you make it look.
Is it me that make it look?
No,
as
you're painting. I don't think it's as bad as you are painting. A couple of, in fact, do you know, this happened in Abuja, and one man carried a placard in Lagos, and a few people in Abia State, and that's all, no other states. So these people came out, and we tried our best. We managed the situation. I think we deserve commendation for this.
In fact, we understand that the IG actually rushed back to Nigeria from an event he was attending in the US.
Because of this? No, far from it.
Where did he?
Far from it.
But abruptly, he was supposed to be at that conference.
Far from it. The IG was in Denver, Colorado for the opening ceremony, for the IACP. He attended the opening ceremony, and he had to come back for other pressing security matters. See, I'll tell you this. The IG has carefully selected sound officers, operationally sound officers to man strategic positions within the force, such that even if he's not in the country, if he's not around, the police will do what it's supposed to do to a very large extent. The IG does not micromanage people. And do not forget that his PhD thesis is in protest management. So he's an expert in this. There are standard operating procedures he has handed down to all his commissioners of police. So even if he's not in the country, things we move as they should. But he's back in the country, not for this, but for other pressing security concerns. But it's good that he's on ground so that he can say things for himself.
Would it be about the coup? Did he rush now also because of the coup?
Now, the defense headquarters has debunked that there was a coup, but that ordinarily should be enough to make an IG come back to the country, to ensure that there is no anarchy, there is no breakdown of law and order, and there is absolute peace.
Everyone, our closing moment with the police public relations officer, Mr. Benjamin Hundeyi. On a final note, my question is, there are those who feel maybe the Nigerian police force could have done better in terms of making Nigerians understand that it's standing on the side of the Nigerian people, not against them.
Yes, that actually was the opening statement, the first paragraph of the statement we issued 2 days ago. We made it clear that we are on the side of the people. We appreciate that they have the right to protest and go on peaceful procession. Mm-hmm. But be that as it may, we will not allow them, that's protesters, trample on the rights of freedom of movement of other Nigerians. So Nigerians know that. And I can assure you that many Nigerians have actually commended us for handling this well today.
Is it not the role of the police to be able to help guide the traffic, in a way, because you cannot vitiate the right of constitutional right of a citizen based on a court order. A court order is lower in terms of the order in our laws to the constitutional rights of a citizen.
Now, let's set aside the court order. We have less than 100 people protesting, trying to block the road, and we have thousands, hundreds of thousands of other people who want to move, and they also have the right to move. And just a few people want to hold them to ransom. The question will be, where is the police? Why is the police allowing this to happen? And we went there, we showed up and made sure that there was freedom of movement. People were able to get to their destinations peacefully. That's simply what we did.
Because some of the roads that you barricaded and blocked, there are hospitals there. Critical people who wanted to go to the hospital legitimately were bad.
I hope you didn't get any reports that we stopped ambulance. I hope you didn't get that.
No, there are people in their own vehicles who are not allowed to move past those areas.
Like I said, the police did not block the road. Yes, we barricaded the road for security reasons, and alternate roads were made available. There were diversions. We got a court order specifically about this protest and restricting protests from certain areas, like the Aso Villa, the Supreme Court, the National Assembly, Eagle Square, the Force Headquarters, and Shehu Shagari Way. And the court order says protesters are restricted from going to these areas. And as a law enforcement agency, we are duty bound to enforce that court order.
So it was the Nigerian police force that went on behalf of the IGP went to the court, and this was on Wednesday or whatever. Am I right?
On Friday.
It was on Friday.
Yeah.
Were you able to secure the court order? Because I understand that the court was supposed to sit on that matter today, but that never held.
Well, I'm talking about Friday. We approached the court and we got the court order.
There is a valid court order from, is it just Omotosho's court?
There is a valid court order from Federal High Court in Abuja, and that is what we enforced today. It came out on Friday.
So on what grounds did the police want those specific areas to be isolated from the protesters?
You see, FCT is very big. You can protest anywhere and your voices will still be heard. It will still be reported by the press. And these are critical infrastructure that need to be protected. And don't forget that these are places where protests have happened in the past and things were destroyed. We have records of that. So it's our duty as an agency, it's our mandate to protect life and property, to ensure law and order. So whatever step we need to take to achieve that mandate is what we'll take, all lawful steps, and that was what we did. So we took that step in order to protect the critical infrastructure in those areas.
Is it about critical infrastructure or about protecting the powerful against the average person? Because the average person that went on the street today, these places that you are mentioning, the National Assembly, the Asura Villa, all of these are places where you find the powerful and the mighty in Nigeria. Is that what you are protecting?
Definitely not. Like I said, no matter where you protest, your voices will be heard. In fact, this is the age of internet and ICT. People will always make videos and stream and make their voices heard. So it's not about that. There was a group that protested along this road some years back, and it was anarchy, it was chaos. In fact, I remember that the ambulance that was there was burnt down. So we've seen this before, and we need to learn from incidents that have happened in the past. So we would not allow this to happen, especially when we see the red flags, when we get the intelligence that such a thing is going to happen. We are duty bound to take every preemptive step to make sure it doesn't happen.
So what intelligence did the police have to suggest that this one was going to escalate to the point that it's going to put the lives of the president living in the presidential villa, the lives of the lawmakers in jeopardy, or any properties in jeopardy?
Thank you very much. We might not be able to go into details of the intelligence, but it's enough to say that everything we did was in good faith to protect Nigerians and protect the city. So we're saying it again that we approached the court listened to us and graciously granted.
Are you able to make available this court order so that Nigerians can be able to see the content of what the court is restricting these protesters who are unarmed? By the way, the allegations that you fire live ammunition. What did they do to live ammunition? Did you want to kill them, or what exactly was the problem?
Number one, the court order is not it's not a classified document. It's readily available.
Or the copy that you have, you were the one who went to court.
Yes, I can make a copy available. You can also just
you did that in ex parte. That means that you appear before the court in exclusively to before the police and the court.
Yes, and it is clearly stated in that same order that the other party should appear this morning 9 a.m. in court. It was clearly stated as just for in the spirit of fair play. Now, talking about live ammunition, I can state it categorically, authoritatively, that no live ammunition was fired today. Not a single live ammunition. It's very easy for people who are not familiar with the sounds to mistake the firing of tear gas for live ammunition. It makes the same popping sound, the explosion-like sound, but I can say it on good authority that no live ammunition was fired.
Are you sure that all of your police officers, because there are evidence and pellets that have been picked, and I guess after some time, those will be made available, that the live ammunitions and the pellets of the police were said to have been these demonstrators who are unarmed?
Well, if you talk about tear gas canisters being picked on the floor, yes, I would agree. But I'm yet to see shots. But I'm also confirming again that there was no live ammunition.
Gas fired at the protesters. Why?
Oh, thank you very much. The court order stated it clearly that the protesters should not go anywhere around the areas I mentioned earlier. And these protesters made an approach. They wanted to go to these areas. And like I said, as a law enforcement agency, on Saturday, we made it clear that we're going to enforce this court order. We gave enough warning for these people to court order. We gave enough warning for these people to step back and not go beyond where they were, but they were adamant and they were going to approach these areas. And we just conform to standard operating procedures, and we decided to use, in conformity with our SOP, to use minimal force that is commensurate with the resistance we are getting. And we used tear gas. That was the least that we could do. Nobody was harmed or injured, and we're able to successfully achieve our mandate and disperse the protesters.
Because this is what Shore and some of the protesters claim. They say, quote, suddenly from nowhere they started shooting at us, tear gas, and some live bullets were fired. Luckily, I don't think anybody was hit with the live bullets, but they were just shooting all around. Why were the sporadic shooting? Because I imagine that there are very trained police officers who are trained on how to disarm or disperse people or stop people from encroaching into areas. If you said that you have court order, a valid court order restraining people from moving an area, because it then make the police look like an insensitive, a very military-like civil organization that's supposed to protect the citizen from harm.
Do not forget that first, there was a court order saying people should not go there. Secondly, we issued a statement explaining...
Is tear gas the best way to disperse people? You know the health danger of a tear gas on the average person?
I'll tell you this. Before tear gas is shot or fired, the people, the protesters in this particular case, were warned, were told to disperse. You cannot go beyond that point. And do not forget that their protests and their insistence on approaching these areas actually caused traffic gridlock.
It was the police who caused the traffic.
No.
Your man, apologies please, your man.
So guys, you can see that the Nigerian police is just afraid of Nigerians. This was the moment they tried to lie against, Nnamdi Kanu's lawyer as to why he was picked up and other people alongside, were all picked up. So guys, this country, I'm just wondering, democracy is far from us, There's no democracy in this country, the same country where bandits are being negotiated with, bandits are begged to lay down their arms, terrorists are begged to lay down their arms. They've done all kinds of things. But when it gets to an Igbo man, the case is different. And that's how people are reacting. Many people have been reacting, saying that enough of all this, that Nigeria cannot continue this way. This is wrong for them to just keep, cracking down on people because they feel Nigerians don't deserve to protest. Nigerian people's voices don't deserve to be heard. What kind of country are we living in? If you protest, it's a problem. You don't protest, it's a problem. So guys, let me know your thoughts on all this in the comment section below. Now, I'm going to equally take you through some of the headlines on the Twitter space just for you to see. Since that yesterday, Nigerians have been reacting. Many people even wish this protest continues because guess what? The one that was just done was just like a warning to the powers that be. That just released Nnamdi Kanu so that he can go home if you are releasing those. If you are releasing those who have bite people, how much more Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? I'm just going to take you through some of the reactions from Nigerians, what I see here on the social media. I'm going to be talking about now. Soludo was on Arise TV, and Arise TV posted and said, Obedient movement in Anambra led by Ikenna Azom Chene endorses Governor Soludo for second term, citing integrity and performance. Can you imagine? Obedient. Holy Spirit, what are we not going to see? That obedient general, that obedience. Now, this person said, you see why it is good for the obedient movement to have a structure. All manner of characters will use movement to cash out. Can you imagine? Peter Obi has endorsed one person, George Moralo, in fact, donating to his campaign and following him everywhere to campaign every week. I think we will be seeing more of these if we can't rally around the obedient structure led by Tanko. We will see more of this, and it doesn't benefit people. Just look at the headline below. I think this calls for real worry, Soludo want to hijack structure, and now is the obedient movement in Anambra. No obedient movement in Anambra has endorsed Soludo. Now, let me read out some of the reactions. This person said the biggest issue is the media giving visibility to such recalcitrant groups, knowing fully well the real obedient movement structure. You know, honestly, I really need to tag Arise TV here, because they should not be using obedient name to just do anything that they are doing. I mean, media houses are really a problem. They probably paid for airtime, you know. And this person said, this Ikenna assumption should be used as an scapegoat for others to learn. If you are not for us, don't use the obedient movement for any of your activities. My opinion. Thanks. Honestly, we need people to come out to speak. Why don't we have an obedient channel? Why don't we have obedient? Why don't we have an obedient media channel? An obedient. So guys, what I'm trying to say in essence is that in Anambra State, a group of people who say they are obedient have come out to endorse Governor Soludo. That's to tell you that these people, they recognize the power of the obedient family. They know that obedience are strong people. It's just that we've not seen support, real support coming from obedience in Anambra State. We want to see them embark on campaign, as in campaign has started in Anambra. Very soon campaigns will close. We've not seen obedience coming out to shake the ground. Why? We want to support this man. Soludo has not done anything for the state. We need people who can replicate what Hope Uzodinma is doing in Abia, in Anambra. Come next election, we also want to see that in Imo. Assuming Peter Obi is the one running for governorship position, Anambra Obedience is going to sit down and wait for Peter Obi to do all the wrongs. Please, let's stand up and help Mr. Mogalo. Now, Soludo wants to hijack obedience structure because they know that obedience are the people. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section below. Thank you.